We're also going to be making an announcement probably early next week about another very exciting thing that we're doing to open up the market. Not really been done before, I don't think. Maybe, I think, to an extent, Google did something like this when they listed. They had an auction. I'm going to leave that teaser there. I'm looking forward to telling people all about it. I think it's going to be amazing. So, good morning, Clayton.
Good morning. Good morning.
How have you been keeping locked down?
Yeah, locked down. Trying to stay sane, but I think doing well. Been keeping ourselves a bit busy.
Judging by your videos, I think that's debatable, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So lockdown sort of easing now.
Level 3.
And level 3, and now we can take some of what we're doing to the next level. So maybe let's start with a quick update.
Cool.
I don't know how much you know.
Yeah.
But we've had an unbelievable couple of weeks. It's really been seeing the coming together of the strategy that we finalized, worked on 5 years ago. All of the things now falling into place. We're going to be making some groundbreaking announcements over the next couple of days. Teaser. We've got a contract from a very, very large African country, and we're going to be rolling out there. And I think what we'll do is we'll do a podcast just on that.
Yes.
Unpack it and
can't drop the name just yet.
Well, it's big.
Yeah.
I'll give you a clue. They've got 120 million people.
That's mad.
So very, very exciting. We signed that contract, and we're starting the rollout now. And then, of course, we submitted our sandbox document, did the sandbox website and getting all ready for that. The IFWG, the regulators, have said that they'll let everyone know beginning of June who's in this cohort on the sandbox. So I expect to hear something this week. If we've made it to the sandbox, we've got a whole lot of stuff to roll out in conjunction with the regulator. Obviously, they're going to oversee everything. If we're not in the sandbox, then we're going to approach it a little differently, but also working with the regulators. It really, I think, we're waiting to see what their plans are. Pretty hopeful that we're going to get some nice opportunities out of that to
absolutely.
Figure out some of the more fundamental issues around blockchain-based payments, things like privacy, trust, security. All of these issues now are front and center. That's what the sandbox is all about. We put a lot of work into that, a lot of effort. Then we've put together a solution that encompasses a number of different groundbreaking financial products that can turn the tide in this country. We're really, really excited to see that coming to fruition. So this thing's getting traction. We also will be announcing some deals with very large FMCG manufacturers who will be using our platform. We've got an amazing project that we're working on, Project P-Way, which we'll also do a separate podcast on. Shout out to Zach.
Yeah, Zach needs to get on the podcast ASAP.
Absolutely. And that's all around the waste management, working with waste pickers and creating a whole ecosystem around that, creating the circular economy, all integrated with our wallet. So that's really exciting. What else? It's been so crazy. Obviously, we've got our new sandbox website launching. So we'll probably do that in the next day or two.
Yes.
Just putting the finishing touches to that. And then I think we
People,
probably
people have been contacting us, which is
unbelievable.
Nice.
We're working on the waste project. We're working on the feeding project, the COVID. We are working on. We've submitted proposals around a number of different projects that need our technology to be able to roll out vouchers and various other things. Talking to some exciting government departments about using the technology. So it's kind of all coming together, converging.
Yeah, I find it very funny. This pandemic has really been a shortcut to the future. Everyone has now realized that with the technology that's out there, with our sort of technology and our sort of models, things can be different. Things can be changed.
Well, let's turn that around. Without it, where are we?
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have some real fundamental challenges in this country now. With the impact of the unemployment not having impacted yet. So don't forget that everybody who loses their job in this pandemic loses their income, is not spending that money in their communities. So the knock-on effect is going to be a second wave. So we've been preparing for that. We've put together some strong solutions, worked together with the various ecosystems. And I'd say we did quite an amazing job of getting out there to the key players in South Africa who are driving the COVID response, who looking at food security, supply chains, because this has exposed just how vulnerable we are as a society. After 10 years of preparation, we're now actually going into implementation mode. In a couple of minutes, we got our first call with this unnamed African country, starting to plan the rollout. We're in implementation mode. It's great to finally be here.
It's the first call post-contract.
Yeah, exactly. And wow, what an amazing opportunity. What an amazing opportunity. And what it's also done is it just highlights that we have the solution that everybody needs right now. And I think we're going to be very, very busy. We're also going to be making an announcement probably early next week about another very exciting thing that we're doing to open up the market. Not really been done before, I don't think. Maybe, I think, to an extent, Google did something like this when they listed. They had an auction. I'm going to leave that teaser there. I'm looking forward to telling people all about it. I think it's going to be amazing. So just beside myself with the excitement, how it's all just coming together. People phoning us, great exposure. Annie Sugru wrote that article that was in the Daily Maverick talking about digital currency and FORUS, and got great exposure. So I think for the first time, it's almost becoming a mainstream idea now. Been on the fringes for so long, people looked at me like I was crazy, but not anymore. More and more people are coming on board. And so a couple of big announcements to be made with the launch of the website. We're going to be doing another Maven drive. We've got some specific areas that we're looking for Maven expertise in, and we've been interviewing and recruiting some experts. And what's really exciting now as we start to onboard customers, onboard companies, onboard other projects, our world is just getting bigger and bigger. And what was something that we worked so hard on to get right, now we're exposing it, and it's testament to a good design and a good strategy. It's actually quite amazing. It's like engineering when, I don't know, you've built a thing that's been a long project and the last piece, and you've got the two pieces that need to connect together, and that's what's happening. All of those years of people, being a bit ahead of the curve, I guess. So a lot of these concepts were really fleshed out 2013, 2014. So we've had a good couple of years to refine it, test it, prototype it, try it in different countries,
different communities,
different needs. But at the end of the day, functionally, from a utility point of view, it's all the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's trusted payments, and I think that's also been a very interesting process. We've been following the World Economic Forum methodology. They brought out a toolkit. It's basically a checklist so that you can ensure that there's trust in your blockchain community. It takes care of all the issues like privacy, like security, administration rights,
authentication,
all of that stuff. We're making good headway on that. It's about building a new trusted network. We're building a competitor to Visa and MasterCard. It's ubiquitous. They are. 35,000 banks, 80 million devices, been around since the 50s, so 50, 60 years, maybe 70 years now. But we've got significant beachheads in that space where I think we're going to see a significant volume going through the system. And I expect within the next couple of weeks we'll have some really cool stuff out there for people to see.
Cool. So I think, this week we're going to focus on that announcement that you were talking about, and a few of the projects getting like all the branding and those sort of things all together. And maybe we should look at starting again daily from Monday.
I think that's a great idea. I think by then we'll have deployed many people, a couple of hundred people working on this project.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we need to do is we need to get the examples out there, show people what we're doing, because we know the need is massive. Come one, come all.
Exactly. Cool. So we'll see the audience again on Monday.
Yes.
With a whole lot more to talk about. This was quite candid. I mean, nothing was really given away in this episode. All things that we want to talk about, but we're not quite.
I think a teaser,
a proper teaser.
And I think also the reason why I feel it's important to just do one announcement and talk about all this stuff is it's all really interrelated.
Everything works together.
It all works together. That's the key, right? We're activating an ecosystem. And you've got to have supply, demand, you've got to have leverage, you've got to have liquidity.
And you can't have one without the other.
You can't have one without the other.